just in case. So that's the car park, you see, so there could be someone up there and they've just turned up in cars. Oh, so quick, come here with that, he said.
Okay.
They won't leave you there. Well, come in!
Oh my god, I can see that. Oh my god.
Where?
There, like there was something moving, literally.
I've got me.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, I can see that. What the fuck is that? Come back here, guys, for fuck.
Can I not see it?
I can. It's like a...
And it wasn't deer?
I don't know what it was.
It did not move like a deer.
I didn't see anything. Where?
There, can you see that light there? It's there. It's bobbing. It's moved again. Because it can't.
Why can I not see this bloody thing?
I've seen it.
I'm feeling weird. Oh, eye shine. Keep it there, Lee. Two of them.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
Two of
That's
them.
it.
They're looking at us.
Looking up. One's right over the back.
Are you not scared, guys? Honestly,
No,
'cause I'm fucking terrified.
No.
I won't go.
I know. Should we?
We go, no, we're not
No,
going over.
No, we can't. We just can't. It's not. There.
Yeah,
There.
it is, yeah.
What the hell's that?
I think it's black cats. I think it's big black cats, guys. Good job they ran away from us because I'm, you know.
They can't be black cats then.
It looked like someone walking. Yeah.
I think it bobbed up then.
Oh, my headphones.
Did you get it on film?
Yeah, it's still recording.
There. There.
I thought I saw something. I thought I saw it.
Man's got that on film. There. 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 Definitely.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I've got it on film, but I don't know.
I thought I saw it as well then.
I'm zooming in. There.
I thought I saw something. I thought I saw it.
Man's got that on film. There. 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 Definitely.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I've got it on film, but I
I've-
don't know.
What colour is it?
There! Or is it that? No, it might be that green light. Sorry, forgot about that green light. Sorry,
No, that's
the green light. No, it's not. It is. It is. It's there.
Is that it? That?
Yeah. It's there.
But that's what I was saying.
It's really clear. There. Can you see it there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What is that?
I don't know. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. This doesn't, like I said, this doesn't move like a cat.
No, I can't see the shine anymore, but it was shining.
It's still there. I can see it.
Yeah, it's not moving. It's watching.
It's watching.
Yeah.
Look there, there. There.
Yeah. And the green eyes as well.
Green eyes.
The green. That's what's
green.
drawing me. What's green?
Eyes.
Okay, guys, I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should go.
Green eyes. Amazing.
That's right. It's not right. It's moving forward.
Come on.
I just saw something then. Did you see something, Meg? Yeah. It's right in that in between the building. Oh, forget. Shaking again. But it might be adrenaline.
That was exciting. And hopefully next time happens.
Oh,
God, you're cold.
yeah, I'm scared as anything.
Right, pleasure. I'm glad you saw it.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I got
First time I've seen something like that.
Thank you very much.
The bright white with a red steady light on them as well. There is no sound. There's no breeze tonight, really. It's clear. It's 11:34 p.m. and I have no idea. Let's zoom in on that. I don't know what that is. Whoa. Well, that is no plane, that's for sure. It isn't a helicopter. I can only assume. Ooh. They are, I don't know, not like drones, maybe, but there's a slight little flash to them as well, isn't there, in the centre?
Yeah.
They're white and red. They look to be circular in fashion. You just had to be an experiencer.
Yeah.
And if once you've experienced it, then you just know.
You kind of get hooked on it. That's the thing. You can't.
It does.
It's a bit like a really good feeling, which I know now. When I first started this, and you was like, oh yeah, I want to see a ghost, because you watch all the programs. And
Yeah.
think, oh yeah, what was a ghost in the woods? Right, okay. But now it's not about that. It's the feeling, because that's the trigger.
It is.
And it's
People
like
they're realising.
yeah.
You know,
That's what it is. It's
layers of
an
onion,
eye opener.
You know, it's but everybody used to compartmentalise this stuff. So I'm a ghost hunter. What's
Yeah,
a
that's-
ghost
yeah.
hunter? What's a ghost buzzer? What's a ghost hunter? You know, well, I look for ghosts and get evidence and stuff. Really? Okay. Well, what's a UFO investigator? Oh, that's something different. Really? And what about Bigfoot guys? They're researching. Oh no, that's something different. They're all dealing with the same phenomena in just different ways.
Yeah.
The source, you know, is the source, but the mask is forever changing. And this is like, you know, when Barry said to me, you know, years back, that same phenomena, different mask. And he was absolutely right. Because we can follow the phenomena, but we can't follow the mask.
Yeah,
It's
true.
forever changing, you know. And I think it will change again in time, you know. It'll be something else. I mean, where's all the Space Brothers gone? You know, where have they gone? All the Space Brothers from the 70s, we don't have them anymore. Why? I don't know, you know. So rarely will we have that thing, you know, that pop the face up. Mostly greys now, or tall ones, or even short ones, you know. Occasionally that will change, there'll be other things, you know, but the multiples, there's if you count every type of report of some type of being, there's around about, probably around about 6,000 different variations. Small, hairy ones, to even Bigfoot in association to UFOs. There's over 300 very well reported and documented incidents And I said, I've just put a video up on it on my
Yes, you have,
channel,
yeah.
didn't I?
I just watched that a couple of days ago.
It's about the metaphysicality of it. There was
very
over
good.
300. I mean, there must be people that have seen these things, and I'm just not talking about it.
I know.
But I know that there's definitely 300 on record, very well reported and very thoroughly documented cases of Bigfoot in association with UFOs. So do you think, well, you only got to have one and go, what the hell's going on here? When it, how can it be associated? But yeah, you've got those cases. So when you start to look at all of it, you think, well, it's just different aspects of the phenomena shared in different ways. And what we've done years back is we've gone, we'll put that in this box, and we'll put that in this box. So as soon as we created these boxes, or someone did, this UFO guy wouldn't talk to this paranormal guy. This paranormal guy wouldn't talk to the UFO guy. So they were being dismissive, and that's not being a good investigator. If you go out and you talk to a UFO witness and says, I saw this thing, it was over the house for half an hour, and you think, right, okay, that's really interesting, da-da-da, and you think, oh yeah, but afterwards, we had poltergeist stuff going on in the house for a couple of weeks. Never had anything like that here before. Years back, what was happening? Well, the only way that could have been happening was they ignored that. They said, oh, I'm interested in UFO, so let's just not go there. Pull that back. But that's wrong, because as an investigator, you've got to say, hang on a second, just give me that back. Come here. Let's put paranormal and UFO. What is going on here? Somebody should have done that years back.
Yeah,
but
true.
Now people like you, me, Paul, and many others are realising, no, it's all phenomenology. It's all in there. And it's just various versions, various masks, whatever. It gets it wrong sometimes, because sometimes the Bigfoot isn't walking on the ground. Sometimes it's weirdly a foot or two off the ground. And when it runs quicker than a human animal could even move. It seemingly will pass through some trees as opposed from going through them. There's been reports of that. You think, well, that's not quite normal, There are plenty of incidents like that where people have reported things like that. And you think to yourself, yeah, okay, it's not quite your norm. And that's when it fits into this phenomenology as a one whole box. So throw it all in there. Because as soon as you do that, you start to realise quickly that it's the same as that. Oh, but that's in the paranormal. Oh, yeah, but that's in the ufological. Well, it's the same thing. Okay, that's the same as that. This is it. And the more you do it, you start to realise, it's all very similar, And you think to yourself, okay, if that's the case, then we're dealing with one source. Now, what was interesting, we're into all artificial intelligence now, aren't we? AI. And stuff. Now, I think it was a Japanese company, and it was called what was it called? CRS system, I think it was called. And for 3 years, they ran this top of the range AI computers.
Yeah, because it's not just come out. I thought that. When it's like, AI's come out, I thought, yeah, but
no, it's been going on for a while.
When? Years ago.
They had this specialised program, because they were really interested about phenomena. They thought, let's see what AI has to say about this. Well, it's going to take a lot of time and information to put in there, but you've got to do it, because it'll conclude once you put it all in. And they put everything in. I mean, they put the UFO subject and every sub-subject to it, to crop circles, to animal mutilations or animal deaths or whatever, and all the aspects of you, and then the paranormal, every aspect, every topic, and then the supernatural, all of that, and then the spiritual, and the religion even, in everything. It took 3 years to pile masses and masses of data into this thing. And on the day when you feel like, okay, about 3 years on, I can't think of anything else we can fit into this now to give it, let's see, it's going to go through all this mountains and mountains and millions of things and conclude, what is it? They press the button, expecting reams and reams of information to come out. One piece of paper. It was comical. And it had 2 paragraphs. But it's what it said in those 2 paragraphs that blew your mind. The first one said, whatever is responsible has the capabilities of creating physiological constructs. Well, I'm a physiological construct, you are a physiological construct. These are physiological constructs. They're able to create physiological constructs, okay. The other paragraph, even better, said, it looked at all of it and it said there's one source And how it got to that is because it looked at the paranormal and all the stuff in it, and it looked at the subject of supernatural and all the stuff in that, and the UFOs and the cryptids and everything, and it said, well, there are so many elements in there which match this and match that one and this one, that it has to be, it's impossible for it not to be all the same source. So the computer, the AI, said, there's a source. Now, what is the source? Oh, I don't know. Do we call it God, or what is it? We don't know. It's a source. But it's responsible for all. And whatever it does, it delivers things in multiple fashions, multiple ways. So it'll be the Bigfoots, the paranormal, the UFOs, poltergeists, the demonic encounters. Or
So that's the mask.
It's the masks.
Yeah.
Now, even in early experiments, when conversing with NHI, now, the first experiments that ever took place, people going about UFOs and seeing these occupants. Well, those occupants were first seen around seance tables during experiments, long before in association to UFO abductees and contactee cases, before it was out in the press.
Yeah, like the skull experiment.
Like the skull, stuff like that. Now, there were earlier ones than that, a lot earlier than Skull, which took place, and it proves that these things are consciously reachable. So there's something to do with conscious about them. But they've been around, and they have been around. Doesn't have to necessarily be UFO related, but they're around. And what they realised is that when they can communicate with us, sometimes it's a bit deceptive. Sometimes there's truths, sometimes there's not. You get disinformation and information. In communications, sometimes they'll turn around and say, we can't tell you that, or we'll ignore you if they don't want you to have that information. Sometimes will help provide information, and they've done that on a number of times, including information pertaining to future events. Now, I've been involved in 6 experiments myself, dealing with NHI and communications, and they have said 6 different times about future events. Every single one came true. One of which was, in 19 months' time, you are going to be in another country, in this city, doing a certain thing on this day. And I was like, well,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Why would I even be there? Why would I even go? And on that day I was there. But a lot of factions came into play in 19 months' time. I moved home, changed work, certain things in my work. Lots of different things changed. So how does it do that? Do we not have free will? Or does it know that no matter how we try and change it, the outcome is going to be the outcome, and they know what the outcome is going to be in 19 months' time on that day? How you got there is up to you. You might think, oh, do you know what? Today I'm going to turn left when I come out my front door instead of right. I'm going to balls it up for them. No, because they've calculated in, on that day you turned left, but it won't make a difference because we calculated it in on it. So it's like, you can't get out of it. So they know.
So it's like tracking you in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tracking you.
Yeah. They know about future things, it's definitely in your life. And you can't get away from this. So when you get into the subject, and like you said, once you start in this, it can be consuming. You got to know when to lay off a bit sometimes, because I tell you what, lots of people, they say, do you know, and I know this from years and years of dealing with people in this subject, especially in the UK, one of the biggest breakups in relationships was because of the damn phenomena. It was, because what's happened is they become so obsessed. The missus has had enough. I'm not into this, I'm not, And I've seen this happen time and time again, because
you can see it. You can see it.
It obsesses you, and you can't help yourself, and you end up being drawn and raw into it. But as soon as you open that door, and as soon as you have an experience, you go and try and shut that door, but don't shut. It stays open that much, and you can't shut it. So forever, so from that experience onwards, you are an observer or an experiencer to some degree, depending on how far that door is, and what you have, the wider it gets. And the problem is that when you might stare at the phenomenon, but it stares right back at you, and it knows when you're interested, it knows when what you're doing, it knows to interact.
I mean,
two-way thing.
I think about that with Paul Sinclair because, like we said briefly before we went on film, that it's at it constant, you know. But when you kind of look back and whatever happened to, and I found out today what happened to Paul when he was younger and yourself, and you put yourself in that position, I can understand why.
Yeah.
So, like Paul's wife, Mera, she's kind of experienced some things as well. So
Well, she
that
will do because it's disassociation.
that's what I mean. So you do get that gap where you think, how does Murray put up with Paul being? But they both really they've seen.
It's like
they've
me
seen
and
the-
Jackie.
Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah, same as you
She's
and
had,
Jackie.
She's had experiences, and
Yeah.
you know, before I was met her, funny
Right.
enough. And I didn't know, you know, this house was the house here, which I live in. Had paranormal stuff going on here quite heavily. In fact, the most haunted team were here. You know, and
What here?
Here.
Well, that's
At this
good.
house.
Well, let me just stop you there because when I was when I came in, Steve kindly said to me, "Do you want a brew?" And I said, "Yeah." You know, I said, "Is it Yorkshire tea?" He said, "No." So I was a bit disappointed, but anyway, it was still a good brew. I've still got it actually here. So when I walked in, we sat down in the kitchen, and I felt something. As soon as you were talking to me, I felt something. I thought,
Yeah.
"No, we're being nervous. We're being filmed."
No,
in." But that's just
There's
put it
plenty
on
of
there.
stuff that goes on. I mean, it's very hard not to bring your homework, well, your work home with you, should we say?
Yeah, true.
It's very hard, and sometimes we do go through spates of time when there are strange things that just go on all the time. You know. But then there are some weird things you will never wrap your head around. You know, waking up at 3 o'clock. You know, through that damn 3 o'clock. I hate that damn 3 o'clock. Keeps coming up.
Because
I'm
last
always
night,
waking up at 3 o'clock.
because last night, funny enough, I was sat there and I thought, I was just sat there watching TV, and I thought, wouldn't it be strange if I walked through Steve's front door and felt something? And
Yeah.
I
Well,
did. I felt
you know
something in the
what,
kitchen.
I've worked with a good friend of mine, Don Phillips, who's very sensitive.
Oh yeah, I mean you've introduced me to Don, amazing
When
guy.
Don came
isn't
to
he?
this first came to this house, he stood in the doorway between the kitchen and the hallway. From the hallway as you come in
Yeah,
to the kitchen, and as soon as he stopped on that door line there, he went, "Oh, okay, someone's here." And I went, "Oh right." First time Barry Fitzgerald, I didn't say anything, walks through the door, stops in the same place and went, "Oh, something's here." And I went, "Bloody hell, you know, stop saying it, you know." I try and ignore them as best I can because you don't hang around long, you know. The more you accept them and interact with them, they like to stay sometimes. But the weirdest things, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't know why I do, but I always knew something's odd when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I walk into the bedroom. The curtains are open a little bit because I like a little bit of light coming. But I look on the wall as I'm walking into my bedroom at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, well, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's dark. I can see this orange light coming in, hitting the wall from outside. And I immediately thought, I didn't think of it, I just thought street lights. And then I realised, hang on, we don't have orange street lights anymore, sodium orange lights. Years back we did, but there tend to be LED white ones now for saving money. But suddenly, well, why is it orange? I was getting in bed and I had to get back up again. Shouldn't be orange, that. Went out, up to the window, opened the curtains more, looked out, couldn't see anything. Looked down on me, I'm covered in orange light. I look behind me, my shadow is on the wall from this orange light. And I'm covered in it, and I'm looking, I can't see bugger all. There's nothing there. And yet I'm covered in this light. And then, gone. You just
split
switched
second.
off. I don't get it. I have no explanation for some of the things. I mean, we've seen stuff. There's a tree across the road here. If you talk to Jackie, she'll say, one night we're watching a ball, about the size of a basketball, moving around the tree. And then it then zoop, disappeared and went in on itself. But it was moving around the branches and stuff, avoiding them. But right there where the tree is opposite our window, I think, why? You know, there are crazy things that happen. And you won't put them into a category. You think, what is that?
I mean,
It's
like
all-
Steve said to
it's
me
all
when
part
we
and
were
parcel.
stood in the garden, he said to me about, you know, most of the actual stuff he sees is here.
It is, yeah.
You know,
I said this to
airborne,
Cameron earlier,
whatever.
yeah.
It's, you know, it's
I
fascinating,
don't
really.
have to go far. Some people go, let's go UFO sky watching on the top of a mountain somewhere. I don't need to do that because I'm pretty much, I have been all my life since I was 7 years of age. is been able to see things a lot more than what people should see things, you know, and crazy things which shouldn't even exist, living things. I've seen, I think the most UFOs, as in when I say flying saucer type craft, silver discs, 4 of them together on the sides like this, and then they all went off in different angles. There's a fleet of them coming over, and it was, I thought it was maybe all one craft, as you see it on TV and videos sometimes, you know, little lights together, must be 20 odd of them travelling. But as it moved across the sky, they suddenly went like this, and in a formation it became a line. Right? And then all of a sudden, the only way I can describe it was, imagine playing snooker and you hit the triangles of balls with your white ball, full whack.
Fired off in different directions.
You just went in all different directions at incredible speed. I'm like, you know, I just like, sometimes just think, I can't tell people, they just think I'm nuts. You know, but I've got plenty of photos and videos which I take. To be honest with you, because it happens so regularly over so my life, I don't always think rush in and get me film, because I know I might see one tomorrow or the day after or next week.
True.
You know, so I'll film in like the same before, like 2 or 3%. When really I could have hundreds and hundreds of these things, you know, seeing that regularly. But a lot has been here, and I don't know if you know Jerry, but he's a friend of mine, and knows Chris Turner.
Jerry, doesn't ring
and
a
he's
bell.
been up to Bempton, and Jerry was here. It was Christmas Day. We were having Christmas dinner in the kitchen, and like I do. I don't know why, suddenly I had this feeling, and I have that feeling, and this is, I look up at the clock, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock. I look up, it's dead on 3 o'clock, and I got this feeling, I thought, oh God, what is that? And I looked, we were just sat down to have dinner, and Jerry's there, because we invited him, and Jackie's sat here, and I look out this window, and here in the sky was a round object, and it was just moving just a little bit like that. It's not being carried by the wind or anything, and it was white, and I saw it, and straight away I thought, I knew it, I just had that feeling. I said, there's one out here now, Jerry. Jerry comes out, he's filming it on his camera, I'm filming it on ours, and every now and again there was like a little jet of white come out of it, sort of thing. I thought, what the hell is that? You can see it on the film. You know, it's a good piece of film actually, because Jerry had a really good camera on his phone, better than actually mine. But we got it. You know, they allow us to film them. We had plenty here over the years. You know, strange. And we had an incident when we woke up. I don't know what time it was, because we woke up in a bit of a different normal state, shocked up, should we say, by vibration. And it was sort of thing, and things, you could feel it, everything was vibrating, the whole house was vibrating, and I thought, what the hell is that? It's just like, what the hell? And we came down, and we came out here, it's pitch black, and all we could see was, we could assume it was a helicopter, but it was completely black. It had no lighting on. It had no lighting on it, but you could kind of make out the shape of a helicopter, and it sounded like a helicopter, but I don't understand that vibration though, because it's literally like things were shaking.
It must have been really low.
Yeah, but I mean to look to my little cabinet on the next to my bed and see things, shaking slightly through vibration, that's a lot. You know, and I don't know what this thing was, and he looked like a helicopter, to be honest with you. And we were out here, we were watching it, and it just travelled over. Now, it was so loud, nobody heard it, not even the next door, nobody. We just seemed to have been the ones that heard it.
It was targeted.
Don't know what it was, you know. So I don't know, no idea. Even if it was a helicopter, was it a helicopter? I don't know. Looked like a bit like a helicopter. I could see the silhouette in the blackness of the sky of a black-looking helicopter. You know, the only slight differences in the blackness, you could see it, but no lighting on it. Never put any lighting on. Weird. I don't get it. You know, you get some weird things. I was going to interview 3 police officers about seeing a triangular object over Lancashire County Cricket Club. They were on night duty at Trafford Police Station.
So the good witnesses then, the keen witnesses.
Witnesses. They wanted to. They talked with me. I actually sought them out and agreed that we could meet and I could interview them. I left my house in my vehicle, not this vehicle I've got now.
So there was only you and the 3 witnesses who knew about it, right?
Yeah. So I was aware of it because I saw it. I travelled back through Stretford one night and I saw this massive thing in the sky and an apex lights on its corner. It was definitely a triangle. I was unaware that it was actually over. I was a bit of a distance away, but I was unaware it was over Lancashire County Cricket Club. And it was the three police officers. There's a police station right opposite called Trafford Police Station in Manchester.
Right.
And they saw it, but they were on night duty and they watched it. I wanted to interview them. So I left in my vehicle half a mile down the road. Suddenly, the accelerator, because it wasn't this vehicle, my accelerator dropped to the floor. And the revs went, dead high. I thought, what the hell's going on? I tried to put my foot under the accelerator and lift it up.
Yeah,
And
common
as
sense.
soon as I took my foot away, boom, fell back down. And it was revving like mad. So I had to stop the car and just revving, turned it off. And I thought, the accelerator cable must have broke. It's the only feasible thing. I mean, I kind of done engineering and stuff, The accelerator cable must have broke. So I had to get back home, ring these. It's before mobile phones, of course. So we're talking 98.
But even if the accelerator cable, would have broke, it would have gone off.
Yeah.
It won't keep pulling the fuel through.
Yeah,
It would have gone off, wouldn't it?
But it just kept
does the
going.
opposite.
So I didn't know what to do. Pulled up the car, turned the engine off, put the alarm on. I had a big classy alarm, very good alarm. So I put an alarm on. It bleeps twice. It's on. Because I can always tell if it's gone off, because it makes like 4 bleeps. I say, my alarm's been going off. You know what I mean? But normally, if it hasn't, it's just 2 bleeps again. Left it, got home. Picked up the phone, rang these guys. I said, look, I've got a bit of a car issue just happened now. I said, can I rearrange with you? Can I get back in touch later on or whatever? Because I'm going to have to get my car sorted to get somebody to come out to it. So I did, and I think I rang the AA or something like that came out. And I met them at the car. So I went around, walked to the car, about half a mile away. And as soon as I got there, pressed the alarm. It hadn't gone into alarm state. So opened the car door. Accelerator's up. So how can it accelerate me up? Sat in the car, started it. Everything was perfect. Everything was fine. There were never a problem with the accelerator. The AA guy turns up. He looks underneath the engine and everything. He's checking everything. He said, can't see anything. I said, but the accelerator was on the floor. I even put my foot under it a couple of times to try and lift it up, and it just boom, went back down to the floor. No idea. But my alarm didn't go off. So how did it get me back? I don't know. But you know what?
That is bizarre.
It stopped me from interviewing those 3 police officers because the following day I rang the police officers and he said, we can't talk with you. I said, why? He said, because this evening we had a visit from 2 people from the Ministry of Defence. Said that we're not allowed to talk about it.
And how many times have we heard that?
And I thought, why don't I get stopped to go and see? If you sit down and talk with Paul Sinclair, he will tell you similar stories, weird things. I've been travelling down the road and a red laser, and I can see the red laser. It's not like a red laser that we have when we point at things, because we don't see the beam. We just tend, unless it's foggy or mist or something, we just tend to see the dot. But I saw the beam. It came down from above and hit the bonnet of my car while I was driving. And something similar has happened to Paul as well, because he was telling me the other day, and I was thinking, what the hell is all that, Paul? I don't get it. What is it? I was looking, couldn't see nothing.
What, in his vehicle?
Yeah. in his vehicle.
Well, I mean, he's on the CRV's very, it's very reliable.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
And he's had it for years and
I
years,
have
hasn't
no
he, Paul?
explanations for some of the things that happen, just that they do. And since being 7 years of age, I've had a huge amount of paranormal experiences. Growing up as a child was a freaking nightmare.
I can imagine.
It really was. And I'm an only child, so I had no brothers or sisters to look after me, and I was taunted, teased, saw things I couldn't understand, frightened on many occasions. And it didn't really matter where I went, even on holiday. We went to Cumbria and stayed in a farmhouse. I woke up early hours in the morning, I don't know, I'm only about maybe 11, 12. And there's a soldier in my bedroom, and, he was okay, but it was weird to have those experiences. And it was a constant barrage of things saying, and it just eventually just got to the point where I just don't say it anymore to my mum and dad, because, my mother and father took me to a child psychologist when I was 10. And I remember...
I can imagine you're a friend, kind of, there must be something.
Well, I was having so many experiences.
That's what I mean, the different experiences. It's not like a soldier in your room every day or every week. It's different.
No, it's loads of different things. Sometimes I saw a jester. I was taunted by this bloody jester. His face used to come out the wall. Balls of light that used to come through my window and into my room. I even had a small hole that seemed to open up at the bottom of the wall, and a small figure used to come out and beckon to me to go in. I was gone. That was doing my head in. There were all sorts, so many things, like you couldn't, and it just, eventually it just became, what the hell, it's just one of those things. But my family knew I saw things, and I told people, and I told my family, and it was just like, at 10 years of age, my mum and father took me to a child psychologist. I remember very clearly being sat in this room, and he asked, show me pictures. Well, what does this look like? And this, that, and the other pictures, and it looks like this, looks like that. Asking me loads of questions. And I remember him shouting my mother and father to come back into the room. They came in and sat down. And I remember him turning around and saying, Stephen's a perfectly 10-year-old boy. Simple as that. So I guess my mother and father may have thought I had some sort of psychological problem. But it's interesting though, because it was never talked about then. But now I know that my dad is an experiencer.
I was going to say that. That was on the tip of my tongue, that, to be honest.
My dad is, and his side of the family, yeah. My dad is, and he still has the experiences every now and again. Nothing like mine, of course, but...
Which is the same as Paul Sinclair.
Is it?
Yeah, the same as Paul.
With his father?
Yeah, because when he was passing away, he actually did say, you were right, kind of.
Well, I don't know why. There's some geneticism in this, but... my father would never tell me this. It was only later in life, when I got into all this and I'm doing this full time, he kind of came clean, And he's one of his earliest experiences was seeing a dog-headed person, in the house where he lived with his brothers and sisters. But he's had many strange UFO sightings and paranormal things as well, and he still has them. He still has them. He comes here every now and again for a cup of tea, and he still works, in engineering and stuff. And he says, I was at this customer's house the other day and this happened. I was like, what the hell? It's like, yeah, I was talking to this person who looked like a real person. Turns out he'd been dead for 5 years. His photograph's downstairs. That was his daughter. I was at his daughter's house, and he said, the guy upstairs was helping me. So I said, well, I was trying to get a cable through from one room to the other. And he said, go under the floorboard in that corner over there. And he went, all right, thanks, buddy. It was her dad, because she turned around and said, was it this fella? She said, yeah, that's my dad. He died 5 years ago. He said, I'm the only one in the house. So, yeah, he still has these genetically, I don't know if it's something time, but he still has them. And I still have them. It's not disappeared.
Yeah, but do you think that's why you kind of got introduced to it in that way?
I think the phenomena, I was...
But just stop me there. What about his previous father?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather?
Don't know. My grandfather was Spanish.
He's Spanish, right?
Yeah, because I'm from Spanish descent, from Basque. Where the rhesus negative blood comes from, because I've got rhesus negative
Yeah,
blood.
yeah. It's true. Remember me saying that.
But I don't know, never even asked him, to be honest. It's one of those things you just kind of goes by and you never get a chance, you know, so. But I don't know, mate, to be honest. But yeah, it doesn't let up. There's always, usually maybe 1 or 2 things a week I can say, well, that's a bit odd, that's a bit weird, that's a bit strange. You know, I'm forever putting things down, they disappear. And it happens to my dad.
Times that
In fact, there's been parts of things that my dad's lost. And I said, stop looking for it. And he had a basket behind the front door which hooks onto the door so that it catches your mail.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was glass at the bottom, so he didn't want people to see that his mail was just all sat there, because he made people think, oh, he's not in, you know. And this part that he'd lost turned up when he was putting that basket. Now, he couldn't even get it in the basket. He had to take the basket off to get the thing out, and it was in the basket, the mail basket, this thing he'd lost. It's not this big, you know. And I said, just stop looking for it. And I stopped looking for stuff, and sometimes it'll turn up. But there's been times when I've been like really frustrated. It's like, where's my PJs? I'm regimental, me. I've always folded and put them on the end of the bed. And it's like from the days of doing stuff in the army and whatever. You kind of do things in a certain way.
CD.
And it's like, yeah, there they are. I always put them there. Gone. I go upstairs, they're not there. Well, this is a midweek. I know Jackie doesn't do the washing on the midweek. She always waits till weekend. Where's my PJs? Gone. We ripped this house apart. I was so determined. We ripped this house apart. Do it in the house. I went through all the bins. Somebody thrown them out. They just were non-existent. I was so frustrated. I went out the next day or two and bought some more PJs. Came back. About 7 weeks later, there they are on the bed, just as I left them, in exactly the same place. I had 2 sets of PJs. You know, it's just frustrating. You know, why do take things? Where's it gone for 7 weeks? 7 weeks now. It's just like, where?
But it's the thing I like about the paranormal is the link. Like you've just said there about your dad's letterbox.
Yes.
It wouldn't fit in physically fit in. But look at Skinwalker Ranch where the bulls were in the actual container.
That's right. I don't know how it was done.
Exactly. So it's the same match, isn't it? It's the same thing.
Yeah, but it's constant. It's like it doesn't. It's always prodding us. The phenomenon. It's like there's another thing. There's another thing. Just it's always around, you know. But there are some crazy things. Yeah, I've seen some strange things in my time. You know, been a couple of occasions where I've seen things which don't even look human. To be honest with you, you know, one occasion was with Barry in a desert on the top of a mountain in the middle of America. You know, drawing experiments. But, that was interesting.
So about the experiment side of things, because I mean, Paul was doing was it Trojan?
Yeah.
And he was told to. The skull experiment was told to.
Yeah.
Why did he not keep going at it? Is it get on yourself and Barry?
Well,
because I've heard you say about dogmen as well, where you've looked into it and then, my God.
Yeah.
And then Barry will ring us there. You'll never guess what, this happened last night.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not on about, you know, being in the same...
We go through, we've got punished.
Island.
Sometimes we get a slap on the hand for what we've done. We've done a bit too much. You don't want to catch too much of the eye of the phenomenon because it can come back and kind of punish you a little bit, and it did with me, and it did with Barry.
Is that because you were pushing it too much?
Because of the work that we'd done, yeah, there was a lot of it, and on this particular area of research took us into Sumerian demonology, because Sumerian demons look like dogmen. The dog.
Right.
They've even got little models of them. They're men with dog heads, and there were Sumerian demons, and we got some working into that, and then that early hours of the morning, something grabbed me, came up through the bed, from underneath the bed. It's kicking this damn thing off. It's a bit of a struggle. Eventually, though, I did. It was a nice experience, and I thought, I'll ring Barry in the morning. I've got to tell him what happened.
Was that here?
Yeah.
At this property?
This is here.
Right.
And I ran Barry in the morning. I said, hi, buddy. I said, I was ringing you to tell you, before you even get me words out, he said, don't tell them. He said, bloody hell, he said, all hell broke loose here. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, something came ripping through like last night, and it ripped the light fittings out the wall in the kitchen, and also wife saw this bloody thing, and oh God. So we both got the slap on the hand. So we have to respite, we have to protocol ourselves to don't do too much altogether, because then you'll catch the eye of this thing sometimes, you know. So you have to be a bit tactical sometimes, and that's what it's been like doing experiments I've been involved in, you know. What we refer to as the 2 in 5, you know, which is 2 times in 5 days, or 3 3 in 5, 3 in 7 sometimes. Protocols to protect us from hitchhiker phenomena, you know, or catching the eye of the phenomena. But it does happen, yeah. And there's been times when we've done experiments, we've witnessed phenomena as we expected to, but then we realise now we've overstayed our welcome. Yeah, you suddenly go from, oh, now I'm in alert mode, I'm in fear mode, I'm in panic mode. My body's saying, get the hell out of there, screaming at me.
Like your third eye.
Yeah, and you think, yeah, okay, I'm not going to ignore that. It's there for a reason. That's
Yeah,
survival
it is.
sense.
It is.
You know, it's done as well over the years, but it's there for a reason. I listen to it. Barry listens to it, and sometimes people think, "What the hell are you doing? You've got craft here. You've got things on the ground. You go, and you're running away. This is what you wanted. This is it. So, isn't it? Isn't it a dream? What you want? You know? No, we got in the car and we were gone. You know, we got the hell out of there, and I'm glad we did. You know, because you don't know what people are going to experience. There is a flip of a coin sometimes. It does have a sting in its tail, this phenomena, if it chooses to. So you've got to be careful. Sometimes people don't have good experiences. Sometimes people have very bad experiences, which you don't often hear about. But you don't want to challenge it, and you don't want to press it too much. You want to be an observer without interfering. But suddenly when you feel like you've just overstayed your welcome, then you realise, yeah, it's time to go. And sometimes we've had to do that in many locations. We've travelled all over the world, you know, and trying to figure out what's actually going on. And sometimes they know what we're doing. You can't hide anything.
No, you can't. No.
You can't. You know, forget it. You can't hide it, because it can be like a book, you know. So if you know, they know. So there's no way.
Do you think they can read you before you know yourself?
I'm not too sure about that. I mean, I think you have to have some form of conscious understanding or memory of something that you're going to be doing for them to draw that from you. Even in early experiments with NHI, when we were told we could ask 10 questions and get responses back in a verbal manner, like direct voice phenomena, where we had to sit down and think, what 10 questions are we going to ask?
Yeah, I remember watching that on your channel. Yeah, very interesting.
One of those questions was about heaven. You're naturally going to throw that in there, aren't you? Is there a heaven? And you know what the response to that question was? That's the problem with these questions, is that when you get the response back, it just gives you like 20 more questions.
I know.
That response to that one question, when we die, do we go to heaven? Is there a heaven? The response to that was, for those that make it. What the hell does that mean, Lee? It's like, suddenly I've got 20 more questions.
It's like banging your head against the wall,
It's
isn't
so
it?
frustrating. But you know what?
Why did I bother asking?
Exactly, but that's the problem. And they're probably being very legitimate. It probably might be true, but I don't know. Maybe there's some form of choice come into it. I don't know. But it's just like, oh God, that doesn't help. But they gave us information before we'd even asked the questions. 10 of them, in fact. So we knew then they're getting it from us. They know what questions we're going to ask. Getting it must be from us, or were they there when we sat around trying to work out what to write down, these questions, or they get it from us? And I think, you know, that started to get us into what is referred to as the transpositional spiritual phenomena. And when we say transpositional, it's a triangle. So I'll give you an example. A young girl, a young woman, 25, she's just lost her father. She goes to see a medium, like some people do. Go and see this psychic, da 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 da. You know, see if your dad contacts you, if you got anything to say. So she does. She goes with a friend. So she goes in there, and she's sat there, and suddenly the medium says, "Oh, hang on, I'm getting something," and starts to really relay information to her about her father. She hears the medium and thinks, my father must be in the afterlife. He must be around. Because how could she know this information? Well, what the phenomena can do is it's a triangle, transpositional triangle. Put the phenomena up here. Here's the girl, the woman that walks in. She's talking to the medium or psychic or sensitive, call them what you will. And she's finding out, trying to get information. The medium is obtaining it from the source. The source is going, I'll read it from her, because if you know everything about your dad, now I know everything about your dad, and I can tell the medium over there everything about your dad. And when she tells you, you're going to think
that's the medium telling.
Transpositional spiritual phenomena, do you know? And this is how the phenomena works. It's how people, psychic people, mediums, can tap into the source. But the source can relay information and obtain it from you, me, or anywhere else. You know, and that's how clever it is.
It's very clever, but basically when you put it in that realm of things, that it's simple.
It is. It's a mechanism. Really? It's just a mechanism at play. That's what a lot of these things are, the mechanisms at play. It's like we do with the apport phenomenon, the mechanisms at play. You know, everything is a mechanism. And when you start getting into that, it's referred to as paranormal mechanics. It starts getting very, very interesting.
No, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Have you got any more? I know you had a few questions. Is there anything you want to add?
Let's see if we've got some questions. We have. We're on my phone.
Some of them.
But let's have a look. Where do you think, on the drone side of things, where do you think the operators are coming from?
I think the operators are within the military facilities, because most of these things we're seeing coming from the military facilities. They're in the skies for ridiculous as hours, up to 9 hours sometimes, which is there's no public drone I know can stay up there for 9 hours. Is that? Is nothing normal. Are you seeing red and orange there, yeah? Yep. Are you seeing any shape to it? I know you can't see it on the camera, but... It's moving very, very slow. Is it triangular?
I don't know.
It looks a bit triangular, doesn't it? You can't see it on the camera.
I can see it on my camera. It looks like it does, like diamond shaped.
It's diamond shaped, yeah.
But not on the camera.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Aye, aye. Why is it? Where's it gone?
Go.